Nicolas, what are your thoughts on that performance tonight?
Yeah, very good. The most important, we won, and now we're just one step forward. So now we just keep moving and hope we go to the final.
Does it feel like you're 1 foot in the final with a 3-goal cushion?
No. It's never over. It's now we just have one more game, and now we just go 100% in the second game, and then we will see.
Good to see you scoring again. Was that first one all about strikers' instinct following it up?
Yeah. I knew they were like having two minds, so I just ran. And then hopefully I put my leg, and then the ball came to me. Yeah.
And the second, the moment of class. Describe it for us.
Yeah, I saw the keeper on the bench was always out, so I said, when I come, I will just shoot for outside the box, and then I did that, so it went in. I was very happy. We won.
How well did the team cope with the occasion tonight?
Yeah, very good. Semi-final, atmosphere is good, and now we're very happy that we won, so that's the most important.
What was the manager's message to you at half-time as he was making those 4 substitutions, of which you was obviously one?
Yeah, it was to continue fighting and running and helping the team, as we always do. So, yeah, gladly we won the game, and he's happy, and everybody's happy.
So that's 3 wins in a row now. How ready do you guys feel for Liverpool?
Yeah, now we just finished this one, so now we just focus on Sunday. It's not going to be easy, but, nothing easy, so we just fight for more and try to win the next one.
And what have you seen of young Reggie Walsh, who came on and very nearly scored with his first touch? Have you trained with him much?
Yeah, he's a very good player, top quality. So for sure he's gonna go far. He have lot of quality. So I'm very happy for him to make his debut. I hope more to come for him, and I'm very happy for him.
Nicolas, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Bless you.
So job well done tonight, wasn't it? We spoke pre-match about the potential downfalls that Chelsea could face, whether it was the pitch or obviously against Djurgarden. But what was the most pleasing element of that performance for you?
Professionalism. I think this time of year as well, you look at the energy in the team, and they looked like they was at it. They looked like it wasn't like there was nothing was a struggle. There was a little spell when after the gaffer had made the changes, which is understandable. Then they got going again, and I think they're more than 1 foot in the final. I think they're in the final, and barring an absolute
I'll let
miracle.
you put your neck on the line.
Yeah. I like to take risks. I like to take risks. No, they're in. It was a good performance, solid. Young players making their debut. Players like Jackson get, back amongst the goals at the weekend. So that's a good positive going into the weekend. Just really, really positive for Chelsea for the run-in. And obviously Nottingham Forest losing.
Yeah, that's big news, isn't it?
Big news in the Premier League as well.
Big boost, big confidence, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think from the start, it was the intensity that they played at. It's very easy to try, with these games, to underestimate the opposition. I thought they got on the ball, they moved the ball well, they moved the ball with purpose, they're threading balls, dissecting their midfield. And that sort of set the tone for the game, and then that teed the goals up, which they fully deserved in the first half. Well, first half, they was outstanding. Yeah,
and it took just 12 minutes before Chelsea were able to open the scoring. And it was Jadon Sancho who eventually put it in. But this is a lovely passage of play.
That's a beautiful pass. And it's put to sleep there. And then he's found it at the back. Sancho touches inside, hits the target. What they say to you, get hold of the ball, hit the target. Djurgarden does really well here because he makes a run with purpose. And it takes Danielson away. And Sancho, you won't have all that time in the world ever again in this level, in the semi-final of a European competition, just to pick your spot and tuck it away.
Questionable defending, but shot on target shows you anything can happen.
Shot on target. Danielson had a bit of a night, he'd forget, but fantastic with Sancho. And it's good. He's scoring goals and he's assisting goals coming to the back end of the season. Really good for Chelsea.
Yeah, the next one, Dewsbury Hall. Again, we said about the detail of the pass. I mean, that is just it's a decisive pass, weight of pass. And then Enzo, he knows what he's doing there. He's just taking one touch and literally just teeing it up for Madueke. I thought first half one absolutely run riot. The pace, his intensity, the way he was getting past the fullback, tucked it into the bottom corner, and just what they deserve. I thought he was absolutely outstanding.
So Chelsea 2 goals up at half-time, and you have to say that was the least they deserved, wasn't it, to have a 2-goal advantage at the break. Enzo Maresca then put on 4 substitutions, and when you can bring on the likes of Nicolas Jackson, Cole Palmer, Trevor Chalobah and Moises Caicedo, it gives you an idea of just how strong the opposition are. And Nicolas Jackson didn't need long at all, did he? No. He got his goal at the weekend, and here they go, a bit like buses.
Again, it's a gift. I mean, he overruns it, a mix-up with the keeper. He will never score an easier goal. I think what we'll say about Jackson, he is probably one of Chelsea. He's made himself one of Chelsea's most important players. because he does this. He doesn't give up. He's hard work. He's aggressive. You know, all of the things he might not be as measured as other players, but he gives you this. And nothing better when you're behind him as a midfielder, as me and Sis would know. When you've got a centre forward who will chase down everything, it's fantastic.
And you like things like this come from the game before, or the game before that, where he's just relentlessly chasing defenders down. You know, it's easy for a striker to not track back and, you know, not try and dip a toe, but it's moments like that you earn them moments, and then them moments then bring you onto these ones here where your confidence is high. You've just earned yourself a goal, and amazing what he said in the first half. From the bench, he was watching the keeper. He'd see the keeper off his line. He'd see that where he was standing. So he knew as soon as that ball comes to him, he's even thinking now, look, the way he opened up his body, shifts it onto his left foot. He knows where he's going to put it. Great finish. And there is a man coming to fine form at the right time of the season.
Instinctive as well, isn't it? A little bit like that goal at the weekend.
Yeah. Again, I think he's a better finisher when he's instinctive. I think he's one of them. He'll develop and he'll improve, and he's got time on his side. But I've never had any problems with him with that type of goals where he's just shifting it and banging it, or at the weekend against Everton where he's dropped there and you knew he just had to get a good contact. What he needs to improve on is finishing from crosses, and also when he's got time and he has to slow himself down. But he can improve.
Was there anything missing from this result? A Cole Palmer goal?
Yeah.
You know, 17, 18 games now. You know, it must be taking its toll on him, will it? Or is he quite a carefree personality, do you feel?
You look at it and you're thinking he is a carefree personality. Nothing sort of phases him, you know, in big games and moments. But you're watching that first half going, I can't wait to get on here. You know, if I get on here, I'm going to be getting a chance. And then it's just about, you know, he got into a few half chances, but it was just... Whether that was just that indecisiveness that where it's played on his mind, where it normally that instinct where he just chops one back and then puts it in the back of the net.
And when you're full of confidence, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
And by the way, it's probably the first time in his young career that he's had to experience this and go through it. All footballers, we all do. We all go through rough spells. And there'll be other rough spells later on in his career, but this is how he's going to have to find his way out. It's like finding your way out of a, you know, because he's not playing bad by any stretch of the imagination, but just from his high standards, what he set, he's dropped below that, and he needs to find his way out of it. But he will, because he's a good lad, a good character, and he's still showing for the ball. So I've got no problem with that. And listen, a big goal on Sunday sets him up for the end of the season.
And maybe it's all just set up nicely for Cole Palmer. Well, Djurgarden did have their moment, and it was a first senior goal for the 18-year-old Mulugeta, and, well, you know, takes it pretty well, doesn't he?
Wonderful moment. Listen, they had little moments, Djurgarden, you know, at the far post. It's a lovely dink ball to the far post. And what you're told to do in them thing, get your shoulders facing the goal. Look at this ball stood up there. Get your shoulders facing the goal and head it down. Bang. Great moment for the young lad.
Yeah, brilliant. And that is it. It's literally what you've been taught from a kid. You know, when the ball's up high, you head it down. You've got half a chance if it goes in. From a Chelsea point of view, I think they'd be disappointed in terms of being a free header or, you know, the way that they've got in. But, you know, take nothing away from the young lad. That's his night tonight, and one that he can look back on fond memories.
Good to see his mates having scored against Chelsea. I mean, it's a nice little moment for the 18-year-old. But you have to say, like, you know, they had another opportunity, didn't they? Djurgarden, like, to make it 2, and he skied it over the bar. But their fans maintained the atmosphere, didn't they? They kept cheering them on, even at 4-1 down.
It's great for, like I said, the strength of the Premier League. When our teams go to these countries and they get to Jacksons and Enzo Fernandez, you know, they love it and they get to compete against them. You know, there's a big disparity in what Djurgarden can spend and what Chelsea can spend. So on nights like this, it's a celebration of football. I don't think the fans there, they would have dreamt a little bit, but after the first 15 minutes, they'd have known this is going to be a real tough night. But they enjoyed themselves right to the end. Yeah,
they certainly did, and they'll be noisy as well at Stamford Bridge next week. Well, Joe said that Chelsea are in the final, but as things stand, they've only got 1 foot there. There's a second leg still to come, but you can see there they're very in control, and this is the road to Wroclaw, because the other game finished 2-1 to Betis. Betis against Fiorentina over in Spain. So that one is very much still alive, and remains to be seen how that one will unfold in the second leg next week.
Enzo, 3 wins in a row, goal scorers scoring. Was that the perfect night?
Yeah, it was, as you said, the perfect night. Semi-final, important, and it's a good result, but we have already the experience from Warsaw game, where we won 0-3 there, and then at home we struggled a little bit, so we need to be focused on the second leg.
It looked like no grass, no problem. What were your thoughts on the performance? It looked like the first half was perfectly executed.
Yeah, I think for 1 hour, 70 minutes, the performance was good. And then the last 20 minutes, we dropped a little bit, probably because, 0-3, 0-4. But we cannot drop, we cannot relax, because otherwise it's complicated always. But I think we have done a good job. Now we need to finish the job at home.
You also had the luxury of making big changes at half-time, 4 changes, great players coming on. Managing the minutes like that, how much does that help with your Premier League aspirations as well?
We try to manage players. We know that, we need to protect players. We decide to start in one way and to finish in different way. I think works quite well. But as I said, now we have game in 2 days, in 3 days. We're going to arrive London 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, and we have game Sunday, so we need to recover energy.
How pleased was you to see Nicolas Jackson getting on the score sheet again tonight?
Absolutely. But the 9 is, when they struggle to score and then they score, they are confident, they are better. So, Nico, you can see that now it's with the confidence.
How much did you enjoy giving the European debut to Reggie Walsh, who came on and very nearly scored?
Yeah, they just said to me that this season we gave 8 debuts, so that it's good one. It's young, it's very good. He looks very good, but he needs to continue to work and learn and grow.
I know you work from one game to the next. Now, your thoughts will be turning to Liverpool. Everyone fit and ready for that one?
Yeah, I think so from tonight's game, yeah.
Well, congratulations on a great win.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Enzo Maresca there with Jeff, and focus now immediately. It turns to Liverpool and the recovery. You mentioned there they're going to get back in the early hours of tomorrow. It's a short turnaround, is it? It's a big job for the sports scientists.
Yeah, well, it's a big job for the lads. I think it's very simple. It's rest now. The lads who played, but I think what he would have looked at this game. I think all good managers, they planned 2-3 games ahead, so they would have gone right. Priority Liverpool at the weekend. What do we need to get out of that? Who's going to play in that game? They'd have done this tactics. So then. And then they would probably then work back from that and gone, right, tonight, it's going to look good. Let's swap Casado at half-times with Enzo. So they've got 45 minutes, so it becomes a little bit... For the players, I think it went perfect. Enough players had enough minutes. Everyone's injury-free. Listen, there'll be a late night and you recover, but you go again on Sunday, and it's a huge, huge game at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah.
And when you look at the Premier League table, Steve, a doubly great night for Chelsea tonight, because Nottingham Forest lost 2-0 to Brentford in the Premier League match, which means that Chelsea head into the weekend still in that top 5. And psychologically, that's a huge boost, isn't it?
It is, yeah, because it gets to this stage of the season when you play and then others around you play, you're looking for every single result. They'd have known that result as soon as they come in from the dressing room.
Yeah, they'd have come off the pitch, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they know that straight away. So now they're focusing onto the weekend. And I think this is where this competition has probably played in their hands, where they come off the back of this off a good result. Players scoring that need goals going into the weekend, it will only give them confidence. But in terms of the league table, I mean, this is going to go. I think this could go right down to the wire.
It will do.
Right down to the last game.
I think it'll go right down. I think it might even go down to goal difference. I think Chelsea got to go to the City ground on the last day of the season. What a game that'll be if that's there.
This is the upcoming fixtures for them.
The Newcastle game's going to be huge. The Manchester United game, that's going to look like, Manchester United, we think, are going to go to the Europa League final, and then they're literally all in on that game. So Ruben Amorim will be managing his squad through them things, and then players will know that their whole season rides on that game. So, that becomes a winnable game for Chelsea again. So Chelsea have the toughest of run-ins out of all of the clubs going for it. But tonight, with Nottingham Forest losing, I think that's massive for the run-in.
I think there's a big question as well as, Liverpool have been absolutely fantastic this season, but they have obviously had a very interesting week in the sense they celebrated winning the league last weekend. They'll have a guard of honour at Stamford Bridge, but which Liverpool side will turn up?
Yeah, Joe, what I just think when you're in that moment where you've won the league, there's a real feel-good factor around the place. You end up just keep riding the wave. I mean, not that they would have done this, but you could have not trained all week, got into the game against Chelsea, and still gone at it like you've prepared it like it's been normal. If that makes sense. So, they're going to have to be on top of it on every game to come, and the rewards at the end of it, possible Champions League next season, and then a trophy in Europe. You know, you can only say that's a big positive.
With that in mind, what do you now do in the second leg of this one then? Do you play some of the youngsters, or do you go with a full-strength squad again?
I think you mix it up. I think the thing is, the luxury that Chelsea have got is they've got 23 international players. You look at the players left out tonight, rested. You know, Levi Colwill, England international, Neto, Jackson come on, Cole Palmer, Gusto, Casado, and then the young players, who, by the way, are top draw as well. So whoever they play in the second leg will be more than sufficient enough to win that game. It will just come down to, I think, like what Sid's is saying, Chelsea cannot go into the weekend expecting Liverpool, let's hope Liverpool got their eyes off it or anything like that. Chelsea have to be on it to beat Liverpool. Whatever Liverpool turns up, Chelsea have to be good in every aspect of the game. And I think if they do that, it sets up the last 3 games lovely. And like I said, I think the last day of the season is going to be beautiful.
Can they beat them in a word?
Yes.
Chelsea,
yeah.
Who?
Chelsea or Liverpool?
Yeah.
Chelsea?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much. That's all for us. Very conclusive here in the studio. That's all from us tonight. But for a full roundup of all of tonight's Europa and Conference League action, head over to TNT Sports 1 and you can join Reshman Chowdhury, Martin Keown and Dawn Hutchison for tonight's highlight show. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.